The Hire Tour is something that we did in partnership with local churches and in partnership with the Message Trust, who are based in Manchester. And they have mission teams that they come and bring to us so that we can interact with young people on a completely different level. It was so brilliant. They came into local high schools. They had usually 1 hour with 1 year group at a time, and they shared a message of hope. They shared a message of resilience, of identity, all things that schools want us to talk about. And it was fantastic that they were able to do it in a way that mixed in music, in a way that mixed in their stories of how they came to faith, that mixed in games and fun and inspiration, and it was so brilliant. And everybody in school that day when we were there were absolutely buzzing, they were excited, they had a fantastic time, and the young people absolutely loved it. Staff loved it, and we loved it, and they loved it, and young people were so excited that day.
And it wasn't just the students that were so into it. It was actually one of my highlights as well, was the staff. I remember a senior teacher coming to me at the end of the day and saying, I had a meeting last night with someone from another school who didn't have us in for the Hire Tour, and I told them how much they had missed out and how they'd shot themselves in the foot. But it didn't just end there. In fact, the whole week led up to a huge event that cost us about £13,500 just for the night itself in the Southport Floral Hall. It was an amazing concert put together by the Message Trust with their different bands that had been in during the week in schools, and a few others as well. And so we saw over 300 people come to this concert from the schools that we'd visited, and it was amazing seeing so many faces in there that I'd known for absolutely years, coming in and engaging with this and seeing an event that so many of them were saying they would have to travel to Manchester, Liverpool or further afield to experience something as good as what they were seeing. Many of them were saying, we didn't think it would be this good, Tabs. We thought you were pulling our leg. By the end of the night, the bands had been sharing about purpose and hope through their Christian faith throughout the evening with the young people who were wanting to hear more and to listen to more about what that's about. And so we had this huge team of volunteers from across all sorts of different churches, right across Southport and beyond, who were there in their yellow t-shirts saying Hire Tour, there to talk with the young people. And there was a moment towards the end of the night where everyone's just sat on the floor in little groups talking about the Christian message and being given out Bibles and things like that for them to take away and to explore more with these volunteers from all these wonderful different churches. In fact, from counting up all those resources that we gave out, we believed that there was 183 young people who opted to take away those Bibles and things from the gig and were showing some form of response to the Christian message and taking that away with them.
And so we set up follow-up groups in the local high schools and in local youth groups in order to continue that conversation with the young people. Because the Hire Tour wasn't just about a week, even though the week was fantastic. The most important part is what happens after that week and the way that we help those young people to continue that conversation and to consider the decision that they made and consider what they want to do about that. And so we saw a number of different groups across different schools. We had a group happen in a school that has never had that kind of thing before, which was fantastic. The most that we had was one school, there was 130 young people that were there watching the videos that we had from the Message Trust and taking part in the discussion in some form, which was absolutely fantastic that so many young people wanted to hear more about this message. We also had some youth alpha groups happening across the town to try and help young people to delve even deeper into this conversation. And we had a fantastic start to that, and we had young people wanting to take away Bibles and wanting to have a conversation about what they believed. And we had a young person who hadn't even been to the gig. A friend brought them to Youth Alpha, and they said at the end of the night, I really want to become a Christian. And that is fantastic. But now, given what's happening in the world and that we aren't in schools at the moment, that we're not in that contact with young people in the way that we were, means that we have to think even more creatively about how we share this message and how we continue this conversation.